Now in this lesson we do some work on rounding to the nearest whole number. Example. Round off the numbers to the nearest whole number. In part A we have 4.7. So we're going to write this down. I'll show you by way of diagram. We'll draw a little number line. So we have 4. 4's the whole number part so far, but we've got a decimal 0.7 as well. So it's a little bit more than 4. So we're going to start though on the number line. We'll start with the 4. And the next whole number is 5. Now what is halfway between 4 and 5? Well, it's 4.5. And as a decimal we write 4.5. Okay, 4.5 is 4.5. So the 4.7, where would that fit on the number line? Where would it be? Well, it would be about there. So let's move it there. And the idea of rounding to the nearest whole number, we just ask ourselves, what is it closer to? Is it closer to the 4? Or the 5? Well, in this case, it's closer to the 5. So we round off to 5. The next one, 2.35. Well, again, with whole number part is 2 this time, but we've got a little bit more, 0.35, a little bit extra, so it's a bit more than 2. So on our number line, we're going to start with the 2. The next whole number, what's the next number after 2? Is 3. And again, our halfway point is 2.5. It's 2.5. Now, where does 2.35 fit? Well, let's think about 2.5. All right, we could rewrite that as 2.50. It might be a little bit easier to think it that way, because then the 2.35 would fit about there. So let's move that into that position there. So rounding off to the nearest whole number. In other words, what is it closer to? Is it closer to 2? Or 3? Well, our number is closer to 2. So rounding off, we round it off to 2. Next one, 18.603. Well, we've got 18 and we've got a little bit more. Okay, so our number line will start off with 18. The next number after 18 is 19. What's in the middle of 18 and 19? 18 and a half, 18.5. So this time though, 18.603, it's got 3 decimal places, hasn't it? So we might think of 18.5 as 18.500. It might be a little bit easier to think of it that way. So where are we going to move the 18.603? Where do you think? Did you say about there? Excellent. So the nearest whole number. Well, is it closer to 18 or 19? Well, it's closer to 19. So let's round it off to 19. Next one, 12.517. Well, our whole number part is 12. We've got a little bit extra, 0.517. So on our number line, let's think 12. Our next whole number is 13. And what's right in the middle of 12 and 13? 12.5. So we have 12.517 we're thinking about. It's got 3 decimal places. We might think of the 12.5 as 12.500. That makes that number a little bit easier to place. Now, where do you think it would be? Well, it's just to the right of 12.500, isn't it? So let's put it there. So what is it closer to? Is it closer to the 12 or the 13? Only slightly closer to the 13, but it is closer. So when we round it off, we round to 13. 3.408. 3.408, there it is. So we're starting at 3, a little bit more than 3. So on our number line, 3 is the whole number to start with. Our next whole number is 4. And what's between 3 and 4? 3.5. Again, this one's got 3 decimal places, so let's think the 3.5. Let's rewrite or reconsider 3.500. And now where do we place the 3.408? Where do we place our number? Well, we place it right there. So rounding off to the nearest whole number, is it closer to 3 or 4? Well, it's closer to 3. So let's round our number to 3. Excellent. Well, that concludes our lesson. All right, those little diagrams we drew, very important. You practice those, you become very good at those. and then you'll find these questions very easy indeed.